Is she ready to know my frustrations? What she's slipping inside, slow castration. I'm a riddle so strong, you can't break me. Did she come here to try and take me? Or did she call my name? I think it's gonna rain. Oh, when I die. That was Alice in Chains, and I am Gravity Groove. Welcome to Not Safe for Work Magic, the show where I get beat up, slamming myself against a wall, and draw ridiculously improbable draws. Yeah, and it sucks, but it's funny. But it sucks, but it's a little funny. But it sucks. I think I'm stuck in a loop. Henry. Okay, we're back. All right. So we're still basically on the floor of Diamond. And we have made a few minor changes to Jund Kroxa. We're just trying to get the mana base a little less silly. Again, this is an experiment, and it's a greedy deck. It's probably not something that's viable. The better home for Cavalier of Thorns right now is probably in Sultai Control, because that deck is more of a, I think, more of a splash blue deck, and primarily black and green. Whereas this is primarily black and red is the splash, but it's not really because you need double red for Kroxas. It's a mess, but we're trying it anyway because again we're basically at the rank floor, so you know. The worst matchup for this is probably Blink right now because I just guaranteed lose game one. And then I only have 3 libations to potentially combat it, but the deck draws a ton of cards. It is a ton of card selection, and that makes it really, really hard to knock off track. You have to hit an Agonizing Remorse on their first Thassa and hope you have a libation when their second one comes down. And even then, you need it at instant speed because they often play it after they played an Agent of Treachery, and you just lose the game on the spot. That deck is really annoying. Unfortunately, most of the cards we have are in the shard. And as much as I would love to play some Golgari type stuff, they still haven't had Eldraine come up on ranked draft for like 2 months, which, to build the library of cards in that, I'd love to draft it because I'm pretty good at drafting, and then I can start maybe building Teamer Adventures and other similar things. But yeah, no luck. I mean, I guess I keep this. I have no idea. This is honestly a pretty weird one, right? If they're mono red, I just eat shit and die, which is fine. We're probably just going to draw 14 lands in a row. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Boy, do I know myself. Probably just going to draw 14 lands in a row and die. Oh, and it's the Blink deck, too! Holy shit. I'm great. I'm honestly great. if you don't agree, I don't know what your problem is, but I'm great, really. Like, at predicting Doom, I'm just really, really great. Holy shit. So the deck I said we absolutely cannot win is our first matchup of the day. Yeah, why not?
Why not? Longer. Stand by and watch.
Uh-huh.
No, don't worry. I got this.
Yep. And there's another land. Just play Thassa so I can go home. Good game. It's like 1% of the meta, and of course, it's the first deck we face. Couldn't be any other possible way. It's just, I'm fated to be fucked over by this client. Fated to be fucked over. It's my destiny to forever be fucked over. So as I said, this basically has to be a matchup where I just take Thassa, hold up an answer to Thassa, or I lose. It's an extremely unfavorable match. I mean, this deck just eats shit to control, but that's not what we are. I mean, if we just draw another green source, wow. More catastrophic draws, I guess. And he has Thassa, or he has Treachery, basically, so if we don't draw another discard spell before that happens, or have Libation on deck, we are going to lose when that gets cast. And we've got a lot of looks at whatever he wants. So one more green source would be cool. I don't know if it matters. Jesus. Tell me this deck isn't obnoxious. Seriously, tell me this deck isn't just the most obnoxious thing ever. libation, unfortunately. Doesn't mean we can't Pelucranos next turn. We have double black, double red. Guess it doesn't really matter. Now we just have to try to kill him before Agent. I mean, he's probably just gonna time wipe me next turn, right? Or more likely Elspeth. This is 6. I think we just do this. Wow. A single land hit. That's kind of incredible. Okay, so we're going to put a discard spell on the top for sure. And you want 2 discard spells? Another Cav? Just go 2 discard spells. Double Agent of Treachery. Wow. I don't think this is beatable. Yep. Don't think this is beatable. Yep. Well, I mean, I guess if he doesn't have the land, I fight, and win, but he almost certainly has the land. What a drag. Yeah. I can't really dedicate any more sideboard slots to that matchup because it's so small a part of the meta. And I don't think there's anything I really want to cut to make room for the 4th libation. We also drew pretty poorly there, honestly. This is a deck we're going to see a lot today. Maybe we should. But we are cursed, so maybe we'll get to play an actual game this time. Not get gimmicked out. Teamer or dual aggro. Okay. Dual aggro. It's just, yeah, just going to be 3 creatures and cleave. That's all these decks ever do. It's really, really boring. I think I have to hang back this turn, because the cleave turn will kill me. So if he attacks with both, do I just double block on one? Oh man. How's everybody doing? We're trying to pick up where we left off yesterday before the game catastrophically collapsed on itself like a dying star. My name is Gravity Groove, and this is Not Safe for Work Magic. And as you can see, this is day 15 of the quarantine. I feel you. I feel you. It's getting to me. I took a good 5-mile walk today in the barren wasteland that has become the downtown where I live, and saw a few people, waved at them from 38 feet away. We're all a little sad, we're all a little beat up by this, we're all still adjusting. Me too. Plus I'm tired as shit. I just slept really bad yesterday, which just occasionally happens. Just sometimes the nature is not with you, wants to put challenge mode on you. But we're going to play some Magic anyway, and assuming the whole thing doesn't collapse like it did moments ago, which you're going to be seeing this disjarred connection of my intro from yesterday and me continuing today, I'm just going to stitch the ends together. It's going to seem a little weird. It's like I did 2 intros, but what the fuck ever. That's what actually happened, and so that's what I'm doing. We are going to try John Kroxa. I probably talked about this. The deck has gone through some minor changes in terms of trying to make the mana a little better, a little cleaner, a little less painful. Essentially, this is a greedy deck like every other deck. The big difference is that this is more mid-range, which is why you should not be playing it. Don't play mid-range, kids, okay? Magic right now, Magic Standard, is fucking terrible, and it's been fucking terrible for a long time. There are lots of culprits, there are lots of places to point at, but overall, the TLDR is the game isn't interactive anymore, and it's about rushing to the biggest mana play you can get in a linear fashion and beating your opponent. Your only other option, of course, is red deck wins, to try to get under your opponent before they have 8 mana on turn 3 and break the game. This is hastened by a lot of effects that can't be interacted with in any favorable way. Nissa is a great example. When Nissa comes down, your opponent has 1 turn to abuse mana, so often they're going to get to 2 spell. Even if they don't, they're getting a 3/3 vigilant creature with haste that they can hit you with, and a threat, so you have to deal with both pieces of those. So even if you kill the Nissa, you're still down. Hydroid Krasis does the same thing. Even if you kill the Hydroid Krasis, your opponent is up 2 to 5 cards, depending on how much they cast it for. This trend follows with Oro. Even if you interact with it, they've still ramped. They've still gained life in a card, and they're going to cast it again. The same trend just continues with almost all the cards in the format. Fires. By the time you've dealt with fires, your opponent has already abused the free mana and cast 1 or 2 spells with it. And the list of offenders goes on and on and on and on to Fairy, of course. Like, they play it, they get to draw a free card, and then you have to answer it. Even if you answer it, you're essentially down tempo in time. The team of Magic, the team who designed these cards, If this was their vision, they executed it perfectly. They've turned Magic, which was an interactive game of decision-making, blocking, maneuvering, timing with variables, into Hearthstone. Accelerate a linear plan into the most broken strategy that you can stomach, and it doesn't matter if your opponent blocks. It doesn't matter what your opponent does. You get there before them and you win. Cleave is another great example. There are times where your opponent just says cleave on 3, blocking basically doesn't work, and you lose. This is poor card design. This is terrible R&D. This is a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Kid version of what Magic should be, used to be, could be. Just remember that when you're playing this game, that it used to be a good game. It used to be something. Now Standard is a dumping ground, an utter pile of shit, and I expect it to be for the remainder of the year. I don't think with the aforementioned cards that I just described in the format, I don't think any cards printed can rectify the grievous errors that have already been made. So let's continue with our experimental pile of crap and get beat up by all the cards I just mentioned. I guess. Who cares? Ugh. Well, if it's mono red, we're dead, right? Cool. Just a bad draw for mono red. Deck isn't actually that bad against mono red, but this draw definitely is. For ourselves to kill the runway steam thing. I guess we play the Temple of Malice, the Forest, the Cavalier, and still probably die horribly. Weird ordering. So now we probably just get cleaved and die, right? Do we dig for the... Do we check the hand to see if there's a cleave? Or do we Murderous Rider to block? We probably check the hand, right? The Devil seems good. The Devil might be good enough that we just want to play the Murderous Rider now, right? We could block one of these even if they put the cleave on it. I mean, we'd be taking 8 from the Steamkin. Suppose they could also have a land in Torbrand, which would also be real bad for us. Okay, so no cleave. No cleave yet. Now we're dead to virtually anything. We block with Cavalier, we get back on Knights, which isn't really much to speak of. he can now attack, pull mana, and cleave. That would have been a good draw. Does that even matter? I mean, I guess it's a creature. Doesn't feel like it matters. Yeah, doesn't matter. Cry of the Carnarium, Disfigure, Rampage, Redcap Melee. Take some of the bigger plays out. Probably all the Cavaliers, huh? I forgot to take out the Remorses. I'm dumb. Should have taken out the Remorses. Well, that's on me. Funny, I basically got the same hand I got first round. 5 land and not much. Interesting. Guess we take a robber because we only have one thing to kill a robber. So we just have to take the 2 to hold up the Bedevil. And we've successfully flooded into a virtually guaranteed death scenario here. Filled our deck with removal spells that would be good, and we've got Mire Tritons and Knight of the Ebon Legions, but we're not going to see a single one. That's pretty decent. There's all the cards I needed. Gross. Depending on what we draw, we could turn this around here. If we do get to game 3, we'll take the Agonizing Remorses out. That was an oversight. As I said, I'm quite tired today. Cast it, blank the mana, cast another threat, cleave me next turn. We got double, triple red, triple black. So he has multiple cleaves. We cut all the calves, so this doesn't matter as much. I have to block this, otherwise Cleave kills me. Yeah, it sucks. If he just had, yeah, if he just had double cleave, I can't win. This format's a fucking garbage fire. Yep. And all I can do is hope I draw Ingrass Rampage. Nope. This format's a fucking garbage fire. Good, fun, interactive, thoughtful games. I've run into this guy before. I'm fairly sure he plays Blink, so I auto lose game one. Well, just the old 83 land on turn 2 Bant Ramp deck. My other favorite fair deck. Let's hope we get a land here. Okay. Probably just remorsing, right? Either we've disconnected or our opponent is deep in thought here. Multiple Elspeth Conquers deaths. These don't matter. Of course they would top deck Nissa.
Together we will prevail.
How could any other thing in the universe possibly happen other than them top decking Nissa there? Of course that would happen. Wow. Okay. Let's see if we could put him down to 1.
How rude!
So we can't even Bone Crusher it next turn. Yeah.
Harness the elements.
Good interactive gameplay. Once again, good interactive gameplay. Thoughtful decision making. good interactive gameplay. Okay. Don't have a lot of things Bone Crusher kills. The rest probably doesn't actually come in here, right? Some versions are really Planeswalker heavy, though. Hard to say. We just trim some things. I don't know that Hydra is very effective here. Cut all the Bone Crushers. Oh boy. I do not have the stomach for this shit. I don't have the stomach for this shit today. It's just so fucking boring. I guess. Need to hope we hit some lands pretty soon here. That's a good sign. Let's hope we get a hit here. That happens a lot, doesn't it? Okay, so Lucranos. Oddly, a zombie for Calls the Dead.
This isn't a fight you can win. Time for this.
The aforementioned
bad
bitch
idea.
card that is Teferi Time Raveler. Let's see, that would be our 6th land to get back Polukranos in the future, but I think because we have Kroxa, we don't necessarily need it. It'll also be our 3rd green source. I'm gonna leave it there. I think this time we're going Remorse Kroxa, but in this order. Infinity Time Ravelers. This means we're just going to get our Kroxa bounced.
I would like to test a new hypothesis with you. But the storied past holds our
Sacrificing
future.
that? Interesting. We have a shit ton of graveyard stuff. We might as well just bring back kroxa, right? It's gonna die, but then we can play Pelucranos.
Right on schedule. Don't worry. I got
I'm actually fine with that. That's better than the Devout Decree. Interesting. I think we got a double spell here, right? Let's try to kill this Teferi first. Actually, rather he Devout Decree that in the Kroxas, that's fine. I believe we can Rampage and we summon a Kroxa if I'm looking at the mana correctly. I think. I don't know, I'm one short. Kroxa next turn. Jesus.
Every story is an opportunity for new data.
This is just gonna be what happens to me today, huh? My opponents are just the
Let me
luckiest
aid your
motherfuckers in the
research.
world. And I get to eat shit. Just another stream. Just another day. That's what happens to us here on Not Safe for Work Magic. We get fucked over. That is the name of this game. Does what it says on the tin. Our opponent top decks Nissa when they have a hand of nothing in the first game. And they have a hand of nothing here, so naturally they top deck Tamio. We're going to top deck land. So that's the life we live. Yep. What a pile of fucking shit. Can't even make him discard. Tamio's in play. Yep.
The past
Yep.
is never forgotten.
It's a strange and magnificent world.
Yep. Same thing over and over again. Forever, never gets better. Standard is a garbage fire. Next, Calamity, please. Nice. So that's a one-lander, followed by a no-lander. So that's going to go on our improbable count there. Probably doesn't matter what we do now. One lander, followed by a no-lander. Let's see, 0 land out of 7 cards. With a 25 land deck is literally a 0% chance. That's probably slightly wrong, but it says 0% here. And a 1 card in 7 is a 1.7% chance. Cool. So I'm going to count that as 2. We're going to add the improbability counter. We're going to get that up to 3 today. Salt ramp. No tyrant scorn. 95% of decks contain growth spiral. Can I please get turn 4 casualty of war? That'd be great. That's just as good. Wow. Having a grand old time today. So Restless come in, Rampage comes in. Places is a control gate card. Hydra's probably not very useful. Bone Crusher's probably not very useful. Sometimes these decks have Ritual. Kind of calls the dead. Don't think I've had an ideal hand yet today. I had a 5-lander versus mono red. And I got lucked out by my opponent in the Bant matchup. Haven't really had anything break my way yet. And then, of course, we just had 2 extremely improbable draws consecutively. Okay, you saw that. That was 3 out of 4 hands, 1 land out of 7 cards. The one different one was no land out of 7 cards. There are 25 land in this deck. 25. $25. 25 land in this deck, and we just had 3 1-land hands followed by a no-land hand. This is a high-skilled game that only people who are great at all things and just superior specimens can do well at. So BBD wrote an article recently talking about myths in Magic. And one of the things he talked about was luck. BBD, I've played Magic with you. I saw you at the Pro Tour. I played with you at some GPs. You're a good guy. But you're insanely fucking wrong about this, okay? Luck plays a much, much, much bigger factor than you're calculating for. And I think you're allowing your ego, your own bias, to filter into the thing you're thinking about luck here. Be a little more realistic is all I'm saying. Still a good guy, still a good player, but tell me I had any agency. Tell me I made misplays that allowed for this series of 3 consecutive losses to occur, and me and you might have to fight, you know? That's all I'm saying. Game 4, where we've lost 3 in a row in very, very handy fashion without being able to play Magic at all. Oh my god, a 2-lander. Guess we gotta keep it. It's against mono red. Could be Gruul. Always have Bone Crusher Giant when I play this card. Say 100% to happen occurrence. So we get our second swamp here. Get Bone Crushed again. Let's see if they have shock. I feel like getting this out of Bone Crusher range might be more valuable than any other play I can make. And next turn we can shock in and take Rampage and Triton. He should have swung there. I think he's realizing that now. Sure. I mean, he's probably got the knight here. I mean, what choice do we actually have there? Now we're running out of gas. Yeah. Just gonna run out of gas, I think. Seven land and 16 cards. Oh no, 2 were milled with Triton. 7 land in 14 cards. Now we're just dead to Torbrand. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this to illustrate to you how totally fucked this format is. This isn't fun. There's no way this can be fun. They've designed it in such a way that it's fundamentally fucking impossible for it to be fun. But here we are. painful day. Turn away from lethal here. You could bring back the Phoenix and hold it to block, but we have the Devil, so I think we actually get this one. Oh man. Is it too early in the day to start drinking? Is it? Yeah, it probably is. Hey, it's our favorite hand. So now we've had this hand 5 times out of 6 potential hands. 6 times out of 7 potential hands. 6 times out of 7 potential hands, we've had 1 land or no land. Incredible. Shit. Well, it would have been nice to swing with one of these and get him out of bone crusher range, but we're unlucky, as you can see by how we draw, so. Lava coil. Woof. Really hoping he was going to discard something we could do damage with there. Damn it. That's pretty good. So we probably just eat Robber, Bedevil, or Angerous Rampage, Steamkin. Damn. Yeah, it's pretty good. Fuck. So he's got a Rimrock Knight in his hand. This should be pretty good. That's kind of funny. Huh. Okay. I think you should have brought back Phoenix there, but he's probably dead either way, right? So we got 1 victory, 4 losses, and 7 fucking terrible hands. 7. And sometimes I'm glad I'm recording this shit, because it would be unbelievable if I wasn't. I think we're at around an hour-ish total. Look, man, I'm sorry, guys. This stream was fucking painful. I'm feeling a little beat up by the weather and time and lack of sleep and day 15 of quarantine. And I have some unholy bad luck that clearly needs like professional intervention to be purged. Hopefully next time will be a bit better and a bit more fun and lighthearted. But for now, thanks for suffering with me. I appreciate you. I really do. I hope that at least this was funny and you can sympathize. You can feel my pain because I feel it. We will be here next time, and I hope you will join us. I've been Gravity Groove, and this is Not Safe for Work Magic. Later.